Hey guys, this is Diana Ballard, and welcome to the Mom Training Podcast, where we discuss the skills and strategies to create possibilities in motherhood and make it more fun, efficient, organized, and peaceful. You can find more information or connect with me online at dianaballard.com or at Diana Ballard Live on social media. Ladies, here it comes, that beautiful fall season. So for most of us around the world, I feel like we are experiencing change of temperature, of trees around us, maybe even starting to get some snow in certain places. Being from Arizona, it's like, woohoo! We get our other season, really hot, and then now it's not so hot. Maybe a couple cool nights, whatever. But this new season also brings a couple things that we don't like. And that could be something like what we consider sick season. And I know as a mom, it's definitely something we're highly aware of. And for me, I try as hard as I can to try to prevent sick season in my house. Now, I want to bring something to your awareness right now. Why do you think this is considered sick season? Or why do you think people are getting sick? There could be multiple reasons why. It's getting cold, something with bacteria, some scientific thing, I don't know. But all I know is, I want you to think about this. Did you know that sugar and complex carbs, which turn into sugar in your body, once it goes in, chemically, it becomes sugar in your blood, okay? Did you know that the sugar and complex carbs, kills your immune system more than anything? Of anything that we put in our body, that is one of the biggest immune system killers. Well, so is stress. So is a lack of sleep. So especially coming up with this season of holidays, that is some of our biggest, as a mom, our biggest weapon against getting attacked by sickness is getting enough sleep and keeping our stress low. And so we'll be talking about that a little bit in the podcast to come. But today I specifically want to talk about building the immune systems of your kids. And my personal opinion about why this is considered sick season that's coming up is because of how much sugar is pounded into our kids during these next handful of months. So we start out with Halloween, then it goes into Thanksgiving, and then it goes into Christmas. And if you think about these next handful of months, how much is celebrating, is the season all around sweet things, yummy, delicious, sugary drinks and pastries and cookies and candies and things that only come out in this season. Yeah, I get it. It's fun and it's exciting and it kind of feels like it's part of tradition. To have the candy corn, to make the gingerbread house, to, going and giving millions of treats to others and receiving millions of treats back. I believe that what happens is getting around Halloween time when everyone starts binging on candy, everyone's general immune system drops together. Now, there's a handful of people that don't pound the sugar and they get through the season with a lot less sickness. And so I just want you to think about your own self and your kids. Do you have time for your family to be sick? Now you could be like, Diana, I can't control that. I cannot control if my family gets sick. You're right, you can't. But there are some things you can do to prevent it. And if your family does get sick, there's things you can do to be proactive. But you're not a victim of circumstance, even in this season they called sick season. And it doesn't have to be sick season for you and your family. So there's a couple things I want to throw at you that I want you to think about and possibly do. So first, I want you to think about, how much sugar am I giving my kids on a regular basis? How is their immune system with that? Maybe check that out first. And then, how much sugar are they going to be having with their huge bag of candy from trick-or-treating? or all of the treats that come with all the parties, or how much sugar is going to be introduced into your house in the next couple months? And is it a lot higher than what is normally in your home? And then after you evaluate that, I invite you to make a choice to decrease the amount of sugar that you have during this holiday season. Now, I can feel right now there's some fists going up like, Diana, girl, you don't know me. I've always done sugar for years and years and years. Okay, that's great. And there's nothing wrong with having treats every once in a while or whatever. But there is a problem in the United States. I'm just going to talk about the United States, that the sugar intake is grossly increased. And grossly meaning it's disgusting how much sugar is in every single thing that we eat. And there are so many reasons there could be health problems, but sugar has become something that's a norm instead of something that's a treat every once in a while. And there's a problem with that, and research backing that up. So the first step in increasing your immune system and your children's immune system is cut back on the sugar. The next thing is giving your kids things that increase their immune system. So cutting out the sugar is cutting out the thing that's killing the immune system. So like taking out the destroyer, right? And then now we're adding in things that build up. So for me and my kids, I'll just share what I do, and you can do your own research and see what you think. Or I actually have a blog written on my website, dianaballard.com, that shows exactly what I'm talking about and a lot of the reasons. So you can go check that out if you'd like more information. But I start actively building my kids' immune system in August. And that may seem really far ahead of the holiday season, but I'm not sure how long it takes for kids' immune systems to get built up, or how long it takes until I'm like, okay, you know what? They're good. They're ready. They're ready to go into the gym play places, the church buildings, the play places at the mall. They're ready. They're ready to go in there because their immune system's strong. I don't know how long that takes. So I start early. So I focus on these supplements for them like all throughout the year, but I'm not as like dedicated during like the summertime, because the summertime we don't really have much problem with sickness in our house. So, but once it starts getting into the colder weather and more people have gotten sick around us, that increases the chances of my kids being exposed to a type of sickness of someone coughing, sneezing, wiping their boogers all over something, throwing up on something. And again, I feel that's related because the general immune system of society drops because of sugar. So what I start giving my kids is cod liver oil. And you're like, that is disgusting. Yeah, they eat it with a spoon. I give them a spoonful, like a fourth of a teaspoon every day. And it's lemon flavored, and it has so many amazing things in it. Vitamin D, vitamin A. I mean, it just has, lots of good oils in it that supports their brain. And I mean, it boosts their immune system immensely to even just do the cod liver oil. And you can get that from health food stores. You can order it online. But it's highly beneficial for kids. And the next thing that I give them is a child probiotic. So I actually have a powder probiotic that I give them every day, and I can actually start giving my 4-month-old now. He could actually have it from birth. I even asked his doctor that. You can ask your own doctor when you should start giving things like that. But the probiotics is what builds up their immunity in their bowels. And that is where a lot of the immune system is built. So if people do things to destroy their gut health, they're sick a lot. And so probiotics help so much to keep them well. So I give them probiotics. The next thing I give them is vitamin D drops. So this is like a little dropper that I have. And, there's certain doses you can look up of what's safe for kids or not, but I give them, 3 or 4 drops from this dropper. And there's actually been studies recently that vitamin D is one of the best ways to fight the flu. Like even better than the flu shot, better than, a lot of the other immune booster things. Vitamin D fights the flu and prevents the flu like a ton. And then the last thing is they get vitamin C every day. So first we did like the vitamin C gummies that you can get, but they're full of sugar and they're highly expensive, the little gummies. And maybe your kids will only take the gummies, and whatever. But we also do like electrolyte vitamin C packets, kind of like Emergency. Ours is a different brand, which you can see on the blog, that tastes so much better. We love them. But we have vitamin C little vitamins that taste like berry or like citrus, and they're like different levels of how many milligrams are in each one. So they'll get like a 500 milligram in the morning and a 300 milligram in the afternoon. Now that sounds like a lot, but I've worked my kids up to being able to have that amount. And the only thing with vitamin C is you've had too much of it if you have like explosive diarrhea. So that's your body saying like, well, we got too much. But there are ways to work up. Like when I was really sick when I was pregnant, I was up to like 4,000 or 5,000 milligrams a day to try to like help my body get better. So those are the things that I give my kids that help a ton. And do my kids still get sick, during this time when there's lots of sickness around us? Yeah, they do. Every once in a while, we still get hit with something, but it's so mild. So mild, you guys. Maybe lasts like 1 to 2 days, comes and goes, and it's like, oh, well, that wasn't that bad. I was only up like one night with the throwing up kid, and for some reason the other kids didn't get it. I didn't get it. Okay, well, we'll just keep moving on. I will also say, I'll add in here too, with like throwing up, colloidal silver is the best thing that I've found to, one, give your family to prevent, if anyone else in your family gets sick, colloidal silver is, I don't even know what it does, but it kills like the stomach bug and prevents you from getting it. So like giving tiny little sips of this colloidal silver when someone actually has the flu, and then giving it to the rest of the family when someone else is sick to prevent us from getting sick is the best thing that I've found, because I've honestly felt helpless with the throwing up flu, because I'm like, with vomiting, because I'm like, what the heck do you do? Like, how do you get rid of this? Colloidal silver is what our family uses, and it helps immensely. And we actually just bought a kit online and have made our own pretty much. It's like silver infused water through electricity. So you like put in these little rods and put it in distilled water with this little machine thing, and it uses electricity to do whatever it does with the little silver rods, and it makes colloidal silver, and it's really awesome. So those are just a handful of things you can check out to be proactive towards your family. And that's just in preventing. And then if you go to the blog, I don't have time to talk about all of it today, but if you go to the blog on dianaballard.com, talks about building your kids' immune systems, there's also a section in there that is what you do when your kid's sick, and like different supplements you can do that are safe, ways to increase your kid's immune system while they're sick, different things like that. So you can check that on there, dianaballard.com. Go check out that blog. So as a mom, you don't have time to have unnecessary sickness in your house. Is it going to happen? Yes. Our kids, they put everything in their mouth. You're like, gosh, dang it. Especially the little kids. You're like, why is your hand in your mouth when you just went down that slide and crawled all over that play place? I know it's covered in germs that people coughed and sneezed and wiped boogers on. But you have to deal with it. You're not going to lock your kids up in the house. That's no fun. So just realize that there are germs in the world. We need to wash our hands. We need to be proactive with what we're eating, what we're not putting in our mouth, like sugar and tons of sweet treats this next season that's coming up. And knowing that we can be proactive in helping our kids feel better. So again, to see exactly the things I just talked about, like what exact brands and stuff that I use, you can go and look at the blog. But let's make this holiday season great by feeling good at the same time. Because it makes your life easier, it makes your kids' lives better, your husband's life better. Let's take care of ourselves this holiday season. You have a great week, and we'll see you next time on the Mom Training Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning into the Mom Training Podcast. If you liked what you heard, I would so appreciate a rating and review from you on any platform you listen to this on. If you have any questions or podcast ideas, you can message me on my social media at Diana Ballard Live or shoot me an email on my website. See you next week.